Good morning, students. Hope you are all well. Now we'll see some health tips. Choose a quiet and comfortable place to sit. Get comfortable, whether that is standing, sitting, or lying down. Let all your thoughts be positive, rise up and pass you by. As thoughts come up, try not to judge them, cling them, or push them away. Simply acknowledge them. Start out by doing this 5 minutes before you are starting your work. Now we'll move on to the lesson. Spinal cord is cylindrical in structure and it is covered by 3 membranes: dura mater, oiknoid membrane, pia mater. These 3 layers together they are called as meninges. The spinal cord posterior side it tapers and it is called as filum terminale. If you come to the internal structure, internally it is filled with the fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, cerebrospinal fluid, and it is filled in the cavity nerves. Next is the cerebrospinal fluid. The brain is filled with the fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. It protects the brain from damage and also from the injury. Functions of the cerebrospinal fluid. It is an important question. Shock absorbing fluid. It protects the brain. It protects the brain from the damage or any jerk. Then it passes the nutrition to the brain, and also it will remove the waste materials from the brain. It maintains the constant pressure in the brain. It controls the pressure in the cranium. The cerebrospinal fluid is filled with the cavity called central canal, and it has gray matter, has 2 ends, upper end and lower end. The upper end is called as an posterior horn and lower end is called as an anterior horns. Then together they will form the fibers. These fibers join together and they will form afferent root and efferent root. These 2 roots join together and they will form spinal nerves. Reflex action. A reflex that occurs automatically or without our consciousness. It is divided into 2 types: simple reflexes and acquired reflexes. Simple means winking our eyes, and any dust particles enters our nose, will sneeze, cough, or yawning. Acquired means playing harmonium or applying the brake when you see the red signal. When we touch the hot pan, at once we will take our hand, are the examples of acquired reflexes. The next one is the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system consists of nerves that arises from the brain and spinal cord. The nerves which arises from the brain is called as cranial nerves. The nerves that arise from the spinal cord is called as the spinal nerves. Then there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves are present. 31 pairs of spinal nerves are present. Important one word, okay? Cranial nerves 12 pairs, Spinal nerves 31 pairs. The next one is the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is also called as visceral nervous system. It regulates the functions of the internal organs of our body. It consists of two components, sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. It controls involuntary functions of the visceral organs. Sympathetic dilutes pupil, inhibits flow of saliva, dilates bronchi, conversion of glycogen to glucose, inhibits bladder contraction. Now parasympathetic stimulates the flow of saliva, slows the heartbeat, constricts bronchi, stimulates a release of bile, contracts bladder. Time for exercise. Do the gardening work and thank God for His wonderful creation. Now we'll move on to the lesson. Glands are divided into two types, endocrine glands and exocrine glands. Endocrine glands will secrete the chemical substances called hormones. Exocrine glands will secrete the chemical substances called enzymes. The different types of endocrine glands. Pituitary gland present in the head region. Thyroid gland and parathyroid gland is present in the neck region. Thymus gland present between the lungs. Adrenal gland present above the kidney. Pancreas present below the stomach. Then gonads, which will secrete the sex organs in male and the female. Now if you come to the pituitary gland, the pituitary glands are having the two lobes, anterior lobe and posterior lobes. The anterior lobes, the hormones secreted in the anterior lobes, growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, gonadotrophic hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone and prolactin. Hormone secreted in the posterior lobe, vasopressin and oxytocin. Now if you come to the growth hormones, the growth hormone stimulates the development of the tissues. The pituitary gland will take up the functions of other glands in our body, so it is called master gland. Okay, important one word. Pituitary gland is called as a master gland. Now growth hormone. Suppose if the growth hormones will lead to the improper functioning of the body. If the secretion is very low, there are the three types of disease will occur: dwarfism, gigantism and acromegaly. Dwarfism means stunned growth, disability of the mental and also in the skeletal system also. Then the next one is the gigantism means increase in size in the children. Acromegaly means improper functioning or abnormalities will occur in the face, head and in the limbs. Thyroid stimulating hormone will stimulate the thyroid gland. Gonadotrophic hormones will stimulate the sex glands, testes in male, ovary in female. Adrenocorticotropic hormone will stimulate the adrenal cortex in the adrenal gland. Prolactin will secrete the milk after the child's birth. Hormones in the posterior lobe, vasopressin This vasopressin is called as an antidiuretic hormone because it will reabsorb the water and also it will reduce the loss of the water. Oxytocin. The worst pain in the world is the delivery pain. So during the delivery, the oxytocin will stimulate the or coordinates or controls the smooth muscles in order to contract the uterus. Thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is composed of two lobes. The two lobes are connected by means of a narrow band of tissue known as isthmus. Functions of thyroid glands or thyroid hormones. Maintains BMR, basal metabolic activity. Maintain normal body temperature. Activate central nervous system. Essential for physical, mental and personality development. So thyroid hormone is called as an personality hormone. It regulates cell metabolism. The abnormal conditions of hypothyroidism are simple goitre, cretinism and myxedema. Goitre. It is caused due to the inadequate supply of iodine in our diet. This is common in Himalayan regions due to the low level of iodine content in the soil. The next one is the cretinism. It is caused due to the decreased secretion of thyroid hormone in children. The conditions are stunned growth, mental defect, lack of skeletal development, and deformed bones. Third one is the myxedema. It is caused by deficiency of thyroid hormones in adults. Increase in body weight, puffiness of the face, hand. Hyperthyroidism. It is caused due to the excess secretion of thyroid hormone leads to grievous disease. The symptoms are protrusion of eyeballs, increased metabolic rate, high body temperature, loss of body weight, pancreas. The pancreas are present at the loop of the stomach and duodenum. It is elongated, yellowish and leaf-like structure. It is both exocrine and endocrine in nature. Exocrine means helps in digestion, and this pancreas is made up of cells called islets of Langerhans. Okay, islets of Langerhans, and which will secrete the two cells, alpha cell and beta cell. The alpha will secrete the glucagon and beta cells will secrete the insulin. The alpha cells maintain the glucagon. Functions of pancreatic hormones. A balance between insulin and glucagon is necessary to maintain the blood glucose concentration. Insulin helps in the conversion of glucose into glycogen stored in the liver and skeletal muscles. Glucagon helps in breakdown of glycogen to glucose in the liver. Diabetes mellitus. The deficiency of insulin causes diabetes mellitus. Increased blood sugar level, excretion of glucose in urine, frequent urination, increased thirst, increase in appetite. Adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is present above the kidney. It consists of two regions. The outer region is called adrenal cortex and inner region is called adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex will secrete glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids, and glucocorticoids will regulate cell metabolism, that is cell activities of our body, and it will convert glucose into glycogen which is stored in the liver. Then mineralocorticoids will reabsorb the sodium ions from the renal tubules present in the kidney, and it will increases the potassium ions. It will increase body fluids, maintains the electrolyte balance, osmotic pressure. The next one is the adrenal medulla. The adrenal medulla secretes the two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline. The two hormones are called as emergency hormone because they are very helpful during the flight, fright and fight. Because of that only they are called as an emergency hormone. Important one word. Adrenaline. It promotes conversion of glucose in liver. It increases the heartbeat and blood pressure. It decreases blood flow through the skin. Noradrenaline are similar to those of adrenaline. The 6 glands. The 6 glands are of two types, testes and ovaries. Testes. Testes are the reproductive glands of the male. They secrete the male sex hormone called testosterone. Functions of testosterone. It influences the process of spermatogenesis, controls muscular growth, responds for the development of secondary sexual characters. Ovary. The ovaries are the female gonads. They secrete female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Functions of estrogen. It brings about the changes during puberty. It stimulates maturation of ovary. It promotes the development of the secondary sexual characters. Functions of progesterone. It is responsible for premenstrual changes in the uterus, prepares the uterus for the implantation of the embryo, maintains pregnancy, essential for the formation of placenta. Thymus gland. The thymus gland is partly an endocrine gland and partly lymphoid gland. The thymus gland secretes the hormone called thymosin. Functions of thymosin. It controls immune system. It stimulates the production and differentiation of lymphocytes. Now we will see some important question answer. Now first one, which endocrine gland is called as a master gland? Which endocrine gland is called master gland? Why? First you have to write pituitary gland is called master gland. Pituitary gland is called master gland. It regulates and controls the other glands. Okay, pituitary gland is called master gland. It regulates and controls other glands of our body, or you can write other glands. Okay. The next one is the differentiate between voluntary and involuntary actions. Okay. Differentiate between voluntary action and involuntary action. First point. Actions are controlled by our will. Actions are not under our control. Second point, actions are controlled by the brain. And here, actions are controlled by the spinal cord. Example here, eating, walking, breathing and heartbeat. Okay, so the actions are all controlled by the brain. If brain commands, will do the action. Here all the actions are controlled only by the spinal cord. The next question, what is reflex action? A reflex is any response that occurs automatically without consciousness. That is, if any dust particles enter, at once we are winking our eyes. Then any dust particles enter our mouth, we will sneeze. Then coughing, yawning are the example for reflex action. Okay. The next one is, name some endocrine glands in humans and other vertebrates. So we will start from the head region. So the head region, pituitary gland is present. Then in the neck region, thyroid gland and parathyroid gland is present. Then below the stomach, pancreas is present. The pancreas will have cells, group of cells called as islets of Langerhans. Adrenal gland, the adrenal gland is present above the kidney. Then gonads, that is testis and ovary. Thymus gland is present in the chest region. Okay. Pituitary gland, important question. Pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, then pancreas, then adrenal gland, gonads and thymus gland. Which hormone is called as antidiuretic hormone? Vasopressin is called as an antidiuretic hormone because tubules where it is present? It is present in kidney. So in kidney, the tubules increase the reabsorption of water. Then it reduces loss of water through urine. Because of that, they are called as an antidiuretic hormone. More information about endocrine glands. The branch of biology which deals with the study of endocrine glands and its physiology is known as endocrinology. Important question. Thomas Edison is known as father of endocrinology. W.M. Bayliss and E.H. Starling introduced the term hormone in 1909. Melatonin is a hormone produced by the pineal gland. It is known as a time messenger. It signals nighttime information throughout the body. Exposure to light at night, short wavelength light can decrease melatonin production and disturb the sleep. Melatonin has been implicated in sleep disturbance and metabolic disorders. Edward C. Kendall in 1914 first discovered thyroxine hormone. Charles Harrington and George Berger identified the molecular structure of thyroxine in 1927. Human insulin was first discovered by Frederick Banting. Insulin was first used in treatment of diabetes on 11th January 1922. The cortisol hormone of adrenal cortex maintain the body in living condition and recover it from the stress reaction. An increased output of cortisol is life-saving in shock condition. It is also known as life-saving hormone. Okay, the next one is the detail answer, important detail. Functions of thyroid hormones. The first point, it regulates the BMR. BMR means basal metabolic rate. So it regulates the body functions. Second one, it regulates the body temperature. What is the normal body temperature? Yes, 98.4 to 98.6 Fahrenheit. Okay, important one word, body temperature. The next one, it activates the CNS. CNS means central nervous system. Then it is very helpful for the growth. Growth means valarchi. It is very helpful for the growth of the body and bone formation. The next one, it is very essential for physical, mental and personality development. So, thyroid hormone is called as an personality hormone. Okay, important one word. They will ask you which hormone is called personality hormone. You have to write thyroid hormone is called personality hormone. Then it regulates the cell metabolism in our body. Okay students, we finished animal hormones. Study well. God bless you. Thank you. Okay students, we finished animal hormones.